Welcome to the Joint Metro North Long Island Railroad Committee meeting. I am the co-chair, Mark Herbst, and the Long Island Railroad has the lead today. And we will begin, as we always do, with public comment. Do we have any speakers this morning?
Good morning. Yes, this morning we have 11 members of the public registered to speak. As a reminder, we ask all speakers to adhere to MTA rules of conduct and decorum. I would like to remind our public speakers that in the interest of time and fairness, that all speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please be aware there will be a warning beep to remind you that you have 30 seconds to conclude your remarks. Our first speaker will be Jason Anthony, followed by Christopher Greif. Our first speaker will be Christopher Greif.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Christopher D. Greif. As we are getting ready to do some changes with the fare, which I am very pleased to see, but at the same time, we do need to do a little more education and let everyone know what the changes are going to be, because not everyone is alert, or how should I say this, paying close attention to budgets. And in the meanwhile, at the same time, we do need to make sure any new deals are coming out. Is the Omni going to be linked? Because some people are still confused even from today, the past, and the future. So if we can get a chance before January, can we please make sure how is it going to work for seniors, people with disabilities, and full fare customers? Because it will give them an opportunity how they can travel and making sure that they're paying their fares. Because I know a lot of seniors and disabled people do pay their fares, but we do want to make sure their train tickets and are in the right hands for them and what information they need to know, like the 10-day pass or the city tickets. Because I hope to see in the future a city ticket that can go from Long Island Railroad to Metro North, so people can travel without stressing themselves, losing the cars or buses, because we know there's traffic in Queens and the Bronx, but we do need to have more access options for transportation, like the railroads. Because some people like to go to Grand Central Madison, not just to get something to eat, but also it's much stronger and safer there. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for your remarks. Our next speaker will be Jason Anthony, followed by Naomi Hurston Rincog.
Good morning, everybody. Jason Anthony, the Transit Guru. First thing off, the fare proposals, I think they are acceptable, but we should add that outside the Fort Walkway station on the Fort Walkway branch, I think we should add an option that passengers could travel from that station to the Port Washington branch, because that option is not currently available. Let's say if they want to go to a Mets game in the future or to Flushing. Second, let's say when this fare proposal changes, they might consider adding a Zone 2, because it is very strange to me that Long Island Railroad doesn't have a Zone 2 like Metro North has. Second, we want to hear from Chief Taffy regarding the incident that happened at Penn Station, because this already is causing alarm from Sean Patrick Duffy, and we don't want him to say, hey, New York is not safe. We don't want him to criticize New York yet again, because like we saw in the media, 2 on-service NYPD officers were robbed aboard a Long Island Railroad train. So we need more proactive action from MTA PD, especially at Penn Station. And although that we saw the Chargers in service, we want to see them more often on the Hudson line. And although that Godfrey and Justin are doing a good job, we want to see more in 2026.
Please
That's all I would say for this month. Thank you.
Thank you for your remarks. Our next speaker is Naomi Herson-Rincog, followed by Iris Kelly. Naomi. Our next speaker will be Iris Kelly.
Yeah, with the railroad, okay, thank you for changing the time schedule to make it more accommodating from Huntington to Jamaica. Now, for going to Atlantic, you need to have fixed where the connecting for night to go from trains tracks 2 and 3 instead of going. Now, for going to Atlantic, you need to have fixed where the connecting for night to go from trains tracks 2 and 3 instead of going through 1 to 12. I mean, it's very inconvenient at night. You're coming home from someplace and you're having a good time when you get home, but you don't need to be going up and over far away. You can make it closer. And don't give me about the tracks A through F, where you have holding up trains. We had many times where I'm coming off the Manhattan train, going to Brooklyn, see the Brooklyn train right across, pulling in with us at the same time. Had no problem making connections right across the platform. It was great. That's what it should be. I hear you doing this at rush hour. That's more than that. You need to do it late night trips also, because coming home is late. People are tired. They want to get home. They don't need to have to go walking, so you're walking over a bridge just to get to another train. It's ridiculous. And your scheduled trains to see where the trains are shouldn't be so high. I don't need to see those metal, 15 inches with a metal on the bottom. They need to move that down so everybody else can see it. Not everybody can see it. It's going to make people go on TV trying to read the top line. It's ridiculous. You need to fix that. Thank you.
Thank you for your remarks. Our next speaker will be Charlton D'Souza, followed by Wendy Smith.
Good morning, everyone. Charlton D'Souza, President of Passengers United. So unfortunately, why is the MTA refusing to give us a city ticket weekly in January with these fare increases? And there should be a city ticket weekly that should be able to be used on LIRR and Metro North territory within the city limits. The fact that the MTA board is refusing to implement this is ridiculous. Everyone has been calling for this for the last 6 years. Nothing in this fare proposal. And that is ridiculous. And so, again, this is the governor. I blame this on the governor, the mayor, and the elected officials, because everyone's had meetings, but nobody's doing anything. So it needs to be done. As far as the shooting at Penn Station, I'm not surprised there was a shooting there and somebody tried to get robbed, because there's no security on the platforms. The police are upstairs, but you see homeless sleeping in the stairs by track 21, people hanging out. So again, not surprised. And there's not enough MTPD in Penn Station overnight. And with the cold weather coming now, it's going to become a homeless encampment, because again, there's nowhere for the homeless to go. So everybody stays in corners, and that's not safe, because when people get off their medications, fights break out and things start happening. Now, as far as the ticket policy, we need the one-way ticket policy to be valid for at least 48 hours. That's what people are saying, because otherwise, when people buy their tickets at midnight, it expires the next day at 4 a.m. It doesn't make sense. So more time should be given on that. And as far as the LIR fare increase, we do not really support it. People are being charged with congestion pricing and everything under the sun. Thank you.
Thank you for your remarks. Our next speaker is Ian Matthews, followed by Wendy Smith.
Good morning. My name is Ian Matthews. I'm here to speak about the. I'm also here to speak about the fare increase. Well, I understand it's needed. However, the problem is, like, a lot of trains in rush hour are very crowded because ridership has gone up like dramatically. Like, half the trains have all the cars covered in red with people standing in the aisles. And conductors can't even walk through. So that's why not a lot of people are activating the tickets right away. A suggestion I have you should consider maybe adding like ticket like gates at Forest Hills, Kew Gardens, or Woodside on the westbound platforms, like so people pay their fare. Because a lot of times I've ridden the train from those stations and I've gotten a free ride. No conductors ever come through, so that should be considered. That's all I have to say today. Thank you.
Thank you for your remarks. Our next speaker is Wendy Smith, followed by Gary Profit.
Good morning. My name is Wendy Smith. I'm part of a group called Save the Ferry, which is in regard to the Newburgh Beacon Ferry, which was abruptly stopped this summer with no notice to riders or any stakeholders, cities on either side. This is exactly the wrong time to do something like this. We have an unbelievable amount of economic development that has been trying to break through on the west side of the Hudson. I bring this up during the Metro North hearing because this is our connection to Metro North. The governor has been pushing for transit-oriented development. We absolutely have one coming on the Beacon side, which will lessen the amount of parking over there. We have 4 Momentum Fund projects approved by the governor over on the Newburgh side. We have more housing slated to be developed, multifamily, than any time in the past 60 years over in the city of Newburgh. Economic development depends upon good transportation. And if we're dealing with issues of climate change, we're dealing with issues of equity to transportation, we need to have this vital connection to the MTA, to Metro North from the west side. Without it, we put more cars on the road, we disadvantage people. 30% of people in Newburgh do not have cars. How can they reach the train if they don't have a car? So I beg with the MTA to reconsider this. The economic development impacts and tourism impacts are enormous to taking this away. We are just digging out of a hole. Don't kneecap us now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your remarks. Our next speaker is Gary Profit, followed by Andy Pollock.
Yes, hello. I'm Gary Profit, the president of the Empire State Passengers Association. We have a few issues regarding the new ticket policies on the commuter railroads. The MTA presentation itself says that this simplifies the user experience, speeds up ticket validation process, and eliminates the customer's ability to reuse tickets. First of all, this does not simplify the user experience. Just in the case of the Hudson Line, where we have a lot of members with the Empire State Passengers Association at stations like Poughkeepsie, Croton Harmon, and Terrytown. We already have lines on Monday mornings and also long lines before Yankee games where people are trying to get tickets that just want a ticket to go down. For those people that can't get tickets in advance because of the 4-hour rule, the lines will be tremendous. There'll be no way people will be able to get their tickets. People will miss their trains. In my particular case, I'm going down to Manhattan tomorrow. I already have my off-peak ticket. I'm going to the Yankees game on Wednesday. I already have my ticket. I don't have my ticket. I'm sorry. I will get my ticket tomorrow so that I don't have the problem of being able to not get the ticket to the ticket machine. These having to get the tickets at the same day is going to be a problem at any of the busy stations across the whole Long Island Railroad and Metro North system. In addition, having the ticket validated only till 4 a.m. In my particular case, I often go down off peak and come back off peak if I go in the late afternoon. Usually very busy at the stations in the late afternoon. But yet I will have to buy an off peak in Grand Central when I come back, which means because the way that the round trip works during the week, it's the price of 2 peak tickets. Well, if I'm not riding 2 peak tickets, that means I would have to buy an off peak ticket going down at the machine and an off peak ticket coming back from Grand Central. In addition, people coming back from the airports after a trip, they will have to go and get a ticket at Grand Central just to get on the Metro North to come back home. Please revisit these policies and think about it from the customer standpoint. Thank you.
Thank you for your remarks. Our next speaker is Andy Pollock, followed by Murray Bowden.
Good morning, everyone. This is Andy Pollock from Passengers United. So 2 things I'm going to say to wrap up the third quarter. Number one, I just want to say that I'm glad that there was a Long Island Railroad strike averted. President Rob Freed called on President Donald Trump to appoint an emergency board to prevent a strike that would have begun 2 weeks ago. However, there's still a threat of a strike if it's not reached in January, or it could be extended into May. So let's hope that the unions and the Long Island Railroad can budge together and work on a fair agreement so that way no service is stopped sometime in 2026. And the second thing I want to mention is about the Ryder Cup. All I want to say is that with the overcrowding that was expected, there was still not enough adequate service on the main line. And at some point this weekend, and I was seeing it on the train time app, some trains had over 1,000 people on them, which is very dangerous. What if somebody had a medical emergency? So the Long Island Railroad, when there's future events planned, especially how busy tourist season is coming up with everything beginning October, November, and December, we have to prevent overcrowding on a lot of these trains. So that's the main thing that I wanted to bring up. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for letting me speak today.
Thank you for your remarks. Our next speaker is Murray Bowden.
Good morning. This is 2025. You've issued a request for proposals to study railroad crossings. What has to happen is all railroad crossings need to be governed by a traffic light and gates. Everybody knows a traffic light today. The whole concept of red flashing lights is for a world that doesn't exist anymore. So the plan should be to just convert all railroad crossings to be controlled by traffic lights and gates. Happens on the Willis Avenue Bridge. It happens on a number of other places. In Florida, it happens at all crossings of the canals. Time to change. That's my wife in the background. It's your responsibility to do this. I can't do it anymore. My time's up. This is a changing world. You can see what's going on at the United Nations and in the rest of the world. It's time to change every railroad crossing to be gate controlled with traffic lights. Every driver knows that. You're not going to educate drivers to something that you think is proper. I want to thank everybody at the MTA who's helped me over the years. I could not have done this by myself. People have made suggestions, and that's been helpful. It's been nice seeing you all, and best regards. Thank you.
Thank you for your remarks. Our next speaker is Naomi Harrison Ringcog, followed by Brian First.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Naomi Herson Ringskog. I'm part of the Save the Ferry group, which is consisting of Newburgh and Beacon stakeholders and residents that really want it immediately restored and expanded. I'm going to just talk a little bit to the committee here about how we feel it was disingenuous in really wanting to improve the service. We know that for the MTA, you guys cited the lack of ridership, but we know, as we had been working with Congressman Pat Ryan and our state senators, that you guys were not interested in actually coordinating on public outreach or improving or piloting, which you have done in other communities. We are here to be a working group with you to really expand it. My colleague Wendy talked about the economic development aspects and the tourism aspects, but this is also fundamentally a working class issue, and we're going to be raising that, and people are upset and sad that a 220-year tradition of the Hudson Valley was at the snap of a finger suspended. So we are here to work and improve the marketing, the visibility, the incentives with fare increases, with the express from Beacon and Poughkeepsie too, that this is the right time. And with congestion pricing having so many good benefits, you should do the same for the Hudson Valley. Again, Newburgh and Beacon are sister cities, and you guys have the opportunity to build a better community, a better Mid-Hudson Valley region. ESD, Hudson Valley Economic Partnership, and so many other entities are going to be looking at you to doing the right thing to create a dynamic Mid-Hudson Valley region. Thank you so much. Look forward to being in touch.
Thank you for your remarks. Our final speaker is Brian Fish.
Associate Director at the Permanent Citizens Advisory Committee to the MTA, PCAC. Newell dual-mode locomotives will allow commuters and leaf peepers alike to see Hudson Valley's beautiful foliage faster and 85% cleaner. This is complemented by 5 new Super Express trains flying from Poughkeepsie to Grand Central in under 90 minutes. It's great to see more and more of these rider-friendly options. Come January, senior, disabled, and Medicare-eligible riders will be able to access these faster trains for an affordable price thanks to the closing of the restriction that prevents them from using their discounts in the AM peak. We are also very encouraged to see the new policy to expand family fare to 12 and 17-year-olds for $1 on the railroad to make it cheaper than driving for families. Both of these changes are ones that we've been advocating for a long time, and we're thrilled their time has come. With on-time performance above 95%, it's easy to see why both railroads continue to hit post-COVID ridership records. The fare change provides an opportunity to build on this record ridership by better serving riders in subway deserts like Southeast Queens. City Ticket has saved New Yorkers over $100 million and produced all-time ridership highs at city railroad stations, some of the only stations to surpass pre-COVID ridership. We continue to encourage the development of a City Ticket weekly with transfers to subways and buses included in the price. It's time to seize on the success by allowing city rail riders to benefit from the cost savings of weekly or even monthly ticket options, the same options suburban riders have. Creating a single city terminal zone across both railroads would bring the railroads now under the same roof at Grand Central, under the same fare structure. The new proposed day passes should apply to both railroads as well, encouraging regional travel in addition to traditional commutation. Thank you.
Thank you for your remarks. That concludes our public comments.
Thank you. Okay, now we go on to the regular board meeting issues. The key performance metrics report is in the book, so everyone please take a look at those. And the administrative items will begin with the approval of the minutes from the July 28th, 2025 meeting. They've been distributed to all members. Are there any corrections or omissions? Okay, then I would entertain a motion. Motion. Second? Second by Jim. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Okay, now on to the work plans. There are no changes. And again, the work plans for both railroads are in the books. And now for the president's reports with the Long Island Railroad leading. We'll start with Rob.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning. Long Island Railroad experienced explosive ridership growth over the summer, setting all kinds of new records. So this month I'm going to focus heavily on those ridership gains. Total ridership for the month of July was 7.3 million customers, which is a post-pandemic record. It also represented 91.1% of July of 2019's ridership, the highest percentage for any month as it means to 2019 ridership. July monthly tickets were 13.7% above July of last year, and August total ridership was 7.1 million customers and represented 90.4% of 2019 ridership. So that's 2 months in a row that we have achieved 90% or above in ridership, and those are summer months. August monthly ticket sales were up 10.6% over August of last year, and year-to-date, as of August, ridership is up about 10% over last year. So as I said, I'm going to talk about ridership heavily and really mention a lot of records that we set. August non-commutation ridership was 4.9 million customers, the highest non-commutation ridership in recorded history. So not just for a summer, not post-pandemic, in our history, 4.9 million riders. So as you can see, ridership was up across the board over the summer. Not just pandemic records, but historical records as well. Simply amazing. I was all ready to report a slew of ridership records for August, but hot off the presses, they were mostly all broken this past week with the Ryder Cup. We achieved our single-day highest post-pandemic ridership with 306,735 riders. The previous record was set on Wednesday with 301,440 riders. This is important because this is the second time we've surpassed 300,000 customers in a single day since the pandemic, a very important milestone. We also had the highest total 7-day weekly ridership since the pandemic, 1,807,764 riders for 7 days. We had the highest 7-day weekly average ridership at 258,252. Now remember, that's 7-day. We had the highest 5-day Monday through Friday weekday ridership with 295,419 riders, Monday through Friday. We had our highest Wednesday, 301,440 riders. We had our highest Saturday, 181,411 riders. And our highest Sunday was in August, 152,591 riders. Really amazing. We also had another successful and record-breaking U.S. Open this year. We accommodated 177,738 customers to Mets Willets Point for Mets and U.S. Open activity, shattering last year's record by over 50,000. Just for some transparency, there were 3 more days this year, but they were qualifying events and really didn't measure up to any significant ridership, but I wanted to be fully transparent. All of these numbers are quite an achievement. I want to thank all of our dedicated employees for delivering a world-class service, because that is the main reason why we are seeing these ridership increases. Record levels of on-time performance, increased customer satisfaction, safe service, Jamaica on-time performance improving, and extremely robust service. Increased ridership does not happen by accident. And finally, we were proud to be the main source of transportation to this year's Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black. We successfully transported 154,098 customers in a 6-day period. That's about 33% of the total gate for the Ryder Cup. Those are staggering numbers. You don't expect to see that much of the gate when you're providing service for these things. Quite remarkable. I want to take this moment to again thank the incredible team at the Long Island Railroad, especially Yanis Takos, Matt Boudia, and Chris Durande, and the MTA PD, especially Sean Steiger, for the years of planning that went into this historic event. You made Long Island and the state of New York proud as we shined on the world stage. Thank you. But performance also had to remain strong as well. July total on-time performance was 96.4%, our highest July in recorded history. August was at 95.7%. Year-to-date on-time performance as of August was 96.4%, excuse me. All other performance metrics can be found in the book. Next month, I just want to talk about how difficult it is to maintain these levels of on-time performance when we talk about this increased ridership, significantly increased ridership, and all the venues that we provide service to. We provide service to 5 venues. 3 of them are main track stops, so they're not an end-of-line, out-of-the-way terminal. They're in the main track, so we're trying to run a rush hour, and yet we're still able to achieve these high levels of on-time performance. We just mentioned the Ryder Cup. That was a main track stop as well. Okay, on to safety. For the 12-month period ending July 2025, we had a 27% reduction in customer injuries and a 12% reduction in employee injuries over the same period. All of the safety metrics can be found in the book. Upcoming will be our Vice President of Corporate Safety, Chris Go, and Chief Security Officer Bob Murphy will give a presentation on the steps we're taking to improve safety and security at the Long Island Railroad. Well, it's finally open. On September 2nd, we celebrated the grand opening of the iconic Trax Raw Bar and Grill at Grand Central Madison. Trax will not only enhance the customer experience, but will also show how setting up a retail spot in Grand Central Madison is a good investment. With over 1.1 million passengers in August alone, there is certainly plenty of foot traffic, and they are coming. Currently, there are more more than 5 retail locations in various stages of negotiation. And finally, we are always looking to improve the customer experience for all Long Island Railroad customers. That's why we're conducting a pilot program to place platform decals designating a new accessible boarding area on tracks 11 and 12 in Jamaica. Boarding within this designated area, Jamaica, helps customers using a mobility device or stroller to safely exit the train at Nostrand Avenue or Atlantic Terminal, as there's different platforming situations at those terminals. We're really looking forward to seeing the results and their effect on the overall experience on our Brooklyn customers. That concludes my remarks, and I'll answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Rob. Do we have any questions? Yes, Neil.
Thank you, sir. Rob, you gave some due props to tracks and the efforts that we're trying to make it a vital retail environment down there as well as a transit environment. Can you just give us a sense on how we're doing on usage of Grand Central Madison, aka East Side Access? I get the sense that we don't have any specific stats in the book that I can see of separate ridership stats, who's using which endpoint, et cetera.
Well, as I mentioned, for a summer month, 1.1 million customers in August is quite impressive. And what we've been seeing, which is really remarkable, as you may recall, we projected originally 60-40 split Penn Station and Grand Central Madison. We're seeing that regularly now. In fact, we're seeing days where it's 59-41, 58-42. So ridership is really, really increasing at Grand Central Madison as people see it's a real viable alternative to Penn Station. So, and it's steady. We're seeing those numbers regularly, so it's quite impressive.
David?
Yeah, I was at the Ryder Cup, and specifically was watching the crowd, and you did a good job, Rob. You got to be congratulated. With all the employees, it went smoothly. Over 200,000 people the first day. I wasn't there the second or third, but it went very, very smooth.
Thank you very much. As I said, the team did an incredible job. Really, it's a testament to the MTA PD and our employees. Actually, really remarkable. It was impressive to be there and watch it happen.
Yeah, we can also congratulate Nassau County Police Department and the State Police, and of course, federal government for an excellent job in security. The flyby, you name it, it was very, very impressive. Everyone was safe, and transportation was safe, and that's what it should be.
Would have liked to have seen different results in the tournament.
Yes.
But,
Jim, did you have something?
Yes,
Please,
thank you. So I was out there only for a practice round, though. So I took the train out. It was a fantastic experience getting out there. It was a little crowded, not overcrowded, a few standing rooms. But when you got to the bus shuttle, it was fantastic. The MTA PD did a fantastic job. Kudos to you, Chief, and your men and women. They did fantastic. One thing, Chief, they gave everybody a law enforcement medal out there. I'm a little disappointed that they put Suffolk County PD and left off the MTA PD, all right? Not good, not good. But it was a fantastic experience. And last, on the way out, you sort of miss it on the way in because you got to turn around to see the tent for the Long Island Railroad. But it was perfectly situated on the way out. If anybody had any questions on where to go and how to get home, two of the employees were there, were very cordial and very professional. Well done, well done.
Thank you very much. What's a little bit different about this golf tournament is that, you know, it starts very early, and there's, you know, a lot of people get out there right away in the beginning with other, you know, golf events. It's a little more staggered. Customers trickle in. There's always a big rush, but this particular event, excuse me, it's, you know, it starts very early, and there's a tremendous amount of people at one time either going in or leaving. So really remarkable the amount of trains that we operated, and larger consists than we normally do as well. So thank you.
Any other questions? Well, Rob, I just want to thank you. These numbers are really tremendous, and it says wonderful things about the staff and employees in putting together such wonderful service. We've talked a lot about the special events, but the everyday commuter who's just trying to get to work each day and to have reliable, safe service is paramount, and you're performing wonderful service, and I thank you for that. Thanks. And now for the Metro-North Railroad, Justin, your report, please.
All right, thank you, Chair. Before we get started, I'm pleased to announce the appointment of Shashil Ramnaris, who has been named the Vice President of Rolling Stock, bringing more than 18 years of experience in rail operations, engineering, and asset lifecycle management to oversee all maintenance functions and build off the successes of the department and continue to drive continuous improvement in all areas of rolling stock. And a big thank you to Jeff Weston, who's been leading the department through this transition. All right, so I'd like to begin this month with an update on the GCT power outage that took place last Thursday. So the power in GCT is provided via 4 high voltage feeders supplied by Con Ed. A key point to keep in mind is the traction power that allows our trains to operate is not powered by these 4 feeders. So one of those 4 feeders was damaged earlier this summer and is out of service until Con Ed can complete repairs and get it back online. On Thursday, Con Ed voluntarily took the second of the 4 feeders offline for repairs, leaving GCT with just 2 working feeders. Then, just before 8:30 p.m. on Thursday, the power Con Ed supplies dipped below its normal levels, causing what we call an undervoltage condition. And this dip has been confirmed by Con Ed. So the system is set up to protect itself from damage caused by too much or too little power. So as designed, that feeder tripped when the voltage dipped. That left 1 remaining feeder, which became, because of that, the sudden trip received an overload of electrical demand, and it also tripped, leaving no feeders at that point. So at that point, with all 4 feeders out of service, GCT lost power, and the emergency generators turned on as designed, providing power to emergency lighting and other critical systems. So after about 20 minutes, our team was able to restore power to the upper level of GCT, and another 15 minutes later, full power was restored to the entire terminal. It's important to point out no injuries were reported and train service was not interrupted as a result of this outage. Now going forward, until the feeder damaged earlier this summer is repaired and back online, we will not authorize Con Ed to do any discretionary work on the remaining feeders. And we continue to work with Con Ed to ensure this never happens again. I want to thank and acknowledge the whole Metro-North and MTA PD team, our emergency response teams, stations attendants, train crews, dispatching teams, customer communication teams, and everyone else who helped and did an incredible job reassuring our customers and getting everyone safely to their destinations. That's it on the GCT power. So moving on to Metro-North's reliability and ridership, which remains strong. So August's on-time performance was 97.2%, and we're operating at 97.9% year-to-date through August. Our average weekday ridership was almost 236,000 riders in August, which is nearly 9% higher than August 2024. And this just in, last week was our highest average weekday ridership at over 243,000 riders, which is 2.3% ahead of our previous record and 85% nearly of our pre-pandemic ridership. The 7-day average marks a post-pandemic high and reflects the growing number of riders once again choosing Metro-North for their travel. And as summer comes to an end, we look to build off the tremendous success we had last fall with our laser train. It reduced train delays by 85% and reduced the number of cars shopped because of wheel issues. This allowed us to operate trains with full concests, reducing crowding, and greatly reduce our costs for wheel truing due to flat spots. And new this year is a refined laser optical system that allows us to better target track segments that were previously hard to reach. And also new for this year is a process that allows us to measure remaining rail contamination after the cleaning to determine the overall effectiveness. This enables us to fine-tune the laser's performance and focus on problem areas within the territory. Moving on to the fall schedule change, which goes into effect this Sunday, October 5th. We added 2 trains with this schedule change. The Harlem line has a new morning peak train to provide more capacity for the increasing ridership. There is also a new late evening train leaving Grand Central, so customers have a shorter wait after a game or a show. This was in response to feedback we received from our customers. They spoke and we listened. And the cooler weather also brings the changing leaves, which means that the leaf peeper trains are back on the Hudson line. 5 trains each Saturday and Sunday provide thousands more seats to take folks up the Hudson River to enjoy the incomparable scenery all along the line. And we saw record-breaking ridership last year, and we expect the same for this year. But the thing I'm most excited about with this schedule change is the new Super Express trains on the Hudson Line between Poughkeepsie and GCT. And keep it in mind, these were delivered ahead of the 2026 target and under budget. Customers will now see 5 of the 6 Poughkeepsie Line Express trains operating at under 90 minutes, saving riders up to 14 minutes per day, resulting in up to 3 full days per year. These significant runtime improvements result from targeted infrastructure upgrades, including signal system enhancements and optimized train routing. These service enhancements reflect Metro-North's continued effort to balance infrastructure needs with operational efficiency and customer satisfaction while upholding the highest safety standards. And none of this would have been possible without the steadfast support and leadership of Governor Hochul, along with the hard work and dedication of the entire Metro-North team, along with support from MTA C&D and the MTA CFO's office. This was truly a team effort. And we couldn't be more proud of our new Siemens Charger locomotives, which debuted last Monday in Grand Central at the start of Climate Week, with Chairman and CEO Jana Lieber, Tim Mulligan, head of the rolling stock program for the MTA, Siemens, and Connecticut DOT, and members of the Metro-North team. The locomotives produce 4,200 horsepower. This is 1,000 more horsepower than our aging Genesis locomotives that they're replacing. But they're also more efficient, reducing airborne pollutants by nearly 85%. Manufactured by Siemens at their California facility, these American-made locomotives have been delivered on time and on budget. And just this morning, we released the second locomotive, the 302, into service, a month ahead of schedule. These are just the first 2 of a new fleet of 33 Chargers we will be receiving through 2028. We thank the governor and all the elected officials whose support made this investment and these new locomotives a reality. I would also like to thank the entire project team led by Joseph Reynolds for their hard work and dedication on this project. And as the committee is aware, track flooding from more intense storms and rising tides is an increasing concern across the MTA. And Metro-North is especially vulnerable in the Bronx and Mott Haven, a major choke point for our system where all 3 lines come together. Because this is such a critical location, we needed to find a mitigation for extreme flooding in the area. And building on our successful track raising project in Garrison, we elevated 3 tracks up to 6 inches in Mott Haven. This project will allow trains to operate longer and resume that much earlier during heavy rains and flooding. While this won't solve all flooding issues in the area, it is a major improvement and will greatly reduce any impact due to storm events. Once again, a huge shout out to the entire Metro-North team who delivered on this project and MTA C&D for their support on this important initiative. I'm also happy to announce that after a pause during COVID, we will relaunch our well-loved newsletter Milepost as a digital publication on October 1st. This is a collaborative effort with Metro-North and MTA's Office of the Customer. As before, Milepost will feature travel tips, schedule updates, things to see and do along our lines, track work projects, and other features. And be sure to subscribe at mta.info. Heroes of the Week. Several Metro-North staff members were recognized recently by WABC TV as MTA Heroes of the Week. A customer from Hamden, Connecticut arrived at Grand Central a few weeks ago to find his electric wheelchair no longer working. He hoped to return home, but with Hamden located 10 miles beyond our final stop in New Haven, the trip posed a serious challenge. Our fire brigade quickly stepped in, helping to ensure he made it home safely. It's no surprise that his team was honored by WABC Heroes of the Week, and I couldn't be more proud of their dedication. And finally, before I conclude my report, I would like to take a moment to recognize and honor Daria Weibel, who will be retiring after an incredible 41 years of service to Metro-North Railroad. To dedicate more than 4 decades to one organization is remarkable in itself. But what makes this truly special is the impact she has had on Metro-North and on the people around her. Daria started in 1984 as a clerk in labor relations before moving to our maintenance of equipment department. She worked in multiple roles, providing an invaluable asset to our team, which eventually led to her promotion to the Director of Operations, Compliance, and Procurement. Her knowledge, her steady leadership, and her commitment to excellence have shaped not just the work we do, but also the culture of who we are as a team. She will truly be missed, and we are grateful for all that she has done for us. Congratulations to Daria on her well-deserved retirement. That concludes my report, unless there's any questions.
Thank you, Justin. Do we have any questions for Justin? Yes, Jerry.
Yes, I don't know whether this is for you or for Rob, but regarding the Grand Central power outage, did that have any effect on Grand Central Madison?
No, it didn't interrupt power in the station or power to our trains as well, but we are working with Metro North and Con Edison to make sure that the permanent repairs can be made. So there was no impact.
Any other questions? Justin, you're getting off easy again.
No rider stop.
Okay, we're going to move on to the MTA Police report. Chief Taffy.
Good morning, MTA committee members. Good morning. I'm here to present the August 2025 Crime and Policing Report for the MTA Police Department, focusing on Long Island Railroad and Metro North Railroad. Major crime across the rail systems remains low, with 23 reported incidents in August of 2025, which is down slightly 24 crimes from 24 crimes in August of 2024. And our crime remains down 15% for year-to-date. And that's actual crime, and you can see the ridership is up by way of per capita. We're even down further. Of the 23 reported incidents, only 14 actually involved commuters, with half of those cases related to unattended property theft. The remaining non-commuter incidents involved thefts from vendors, the MTA and its employees, and unfortunately assaults on 3 of our police officers. We continue to enhance support for train conductors by increasing on-train patrols and deploying officers to key stations. In August, officers conducted over 4,300 train patrols, with nearly 32,000 so far this year. The MTA Police Department remains committed to strengthening our efforts to support the MTA commuter rail agencies with the continuing enforcement against fare evasion and quality of life issues. In August, MTA officers issued 570 summonses, with nearly half of them related to fare evasion. This concludes the August 2025 Crime and Policing Report. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions? My co-chair, Blanca?
Thank you. Chief Taffy, I understand that your report is, reflects on last month's
Yes.
data, but I was wondering if you could provide any insight with respect to the incident that occurred last week, the O'Keefe incident, where an individual was placed in handcuffs and removed from a train, according to what is being reported by the media, because another person who was not sitting next to this individual but was sitting in the same car complained about the way he was sitting. If you could provide some insight, that would be very helpful. Thank you.
Sure. That case is still under investigation, but as we released to the media, the police officers in this situation were responding to a report of a disorderly passenger. When they did arrive on the scene, they were informed by the conductor, not another passenger, that the subject had his feet on the seat, which was backed up by video of on the onboard video of the train. We never interacted with another passenger on that train. Although the subject was definitely interacting with other passengers, he was creating unreasonable noise. He was reaching over the seat. He was pointing, according to the video evidence. The officers, in an attempt to de-escalate, asked him, the violator, to get off the train. He did not get off the train. He was removed from the train in handcuffs, taken off, put on the platform, issued a summons for the disorderly conduct, and then released and left to go on the next train to his destination.
Just a follow-up question. You're obviously the guy applying the law, and we're just asking questions here. So, did the things you just described, I heard standing up, pointing, reaching over is a phrase you used, feet on the seat, interacting with customers, whatever that jargon is, those sounds like terms of art in your profession. Does that rise to the level of disorderly conduct?
On a train, yes. Well, when you're arguing with another passenger on a train, our concern is to de-escalate by removing somebody from the train. And the violator, the person that the conductor told us had their feet on the seat, which was then backed up by video, was asked to leave the train. So yes, speaking loudly, it's 1085 codes in Metro North. The first one is 1085A with 5.5A, which actually is don't take up 2 seats. The second one is unreasonable noise.
Okay, so you said you watched someone on your team, maybe you watched these videos, and the behavior described by the conductor from the video viewing reached this level of
From the video, yes, and then from the call, it said that he was cursing at passengers. and
Okay,
yelling at
that's helpful. All right, thank you, sir.
Blanca?
Thank you. If you could provide us more information as the investigation occurs, that would be
Of
helpful.
course, yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, David, you have a question?
Yeah. We all know that I've been on many, many commissions, including 4 law enforcement jobs, starting under the Rockefeller administration. The unfortunate thing is that when people are confronted with a violation, in most cases, they're abusive, and in this case, the video shows it. Why are you two questioning it?
That's our job, David, to ask questions. This doesn't happen that often. This guy, from everything written about him, seemed like he was just minding his own business, and the only thing reported was his feet on the seat. And it's a worthy question. I think Blanca for raising it, because you know what? Sometimes it's worth asking a question. If you think we should not be asking questions of our law enforcement partners, I think you're mistaken.
I agree with Neil. We have every right to ask questions with respect to what we see and the questions that come up and what our constituents are also asking about. So therefore, this is a great opportunity to do so.
Yeah, fine. Did you see the video? You did? I saw videos. Okay. Did you see the video?
Let me just say, it's not my job to watch the video. That's why I asked the cop who. No, but even if I did see the video, I have no idea what the law, in terms of how he's applying it, would be assessed. I don't know if putting your feet on the seat is a violation. I don't know. Obviously, you, with all your law enforcement experience, being a vice chair of a bunch of police departments and such, you have greater knowledge than I do. And I appreciate having you sit next to me because you can. Was that a violation? Is that on video? Twice. 3 times. Let go. David, let go. David, let go. Now, did anyone see that? Was I struck? Should I press charges?
Chief Taffy, before you have to start handcuffing people, we're going to move on.
Thank you.
And we thank you for your report. We do have one more question, Ed.
Yes.
Just a comment about the train patrols. Chief, just want to say, you know our members appreciate the patrols. We get, a lot of times in our duties, we get things we don't ask for, such as spit on, assaulted, slapped, verbally accosted. It's just kind of the day of a train conductor. And I can't thank you enough for how responsive the PD has been with the train patrols. Literally, if I ask that day, I get patrols. Carl Sullivan, Captain Piscinelli, Nick Bollinger, all very responsive and have been there to support us. And I'm thankful that's continuing, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for the chief? Chief, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to move on to the safety and security update from both railroads. We will begin with Long Island Railroad.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. So for Long Island Railroad safety update, we will go introducing some of the factors behind the numbers. So next slide, please. So for our customer reportable injuries, January through July of both 2024 and 2025, we saw a reduction of 25.8%. And contributing factors to that, campaigns and outreach where we have direct engagement with communities, schools, riders through our safety events and tracks program. And also another factor is the clear and consistent messaging where we provide unified messaging across platforms, signage, announcements, social media, and digital screens. Okay, over to our employees, or reportable injuries with lost time. Over the same reporting period, we saw a 19.4% year-over-year reduction, and that can be attributed to the oversight and audits through focused field level safety audits. And for the targeted safety campaigns, that was done through focused messaging on critical safety behaviors, including PP compliance, proper lifting, and situational awareness. Campaigns also were informed by root cause data. Through our collaboration across teams, working with safety and our operations team, we are able to share the ownership of the safety performance of the organization. In addition, through our employee engagement, safety is not just reinforced, it is owned by all employees at all levels. To reinforce these programs, we also have recognition of employees that contribute to the performance, and we reward them through our with gifts and campaigns. And the next one is through our Keys to Safety program, which is an example of one of the programs we have where we describe elements of the company that we want to reinforce, and we share with our department. So just like the keys you have to the door every day, they're essential keys that safety of every employee must use to ensure the safety of themselves, or families, fellow employees, contractors, customers, and the communities we serve. Next to our safety events, during the month of September, Long Island Railroad and our partners at MTA PD, Amtrak, New Jersey Transit held a safety conference, safety event at Penn Station, where we engaged with riders and shared good practices to use in our system and our tracks program. We also had support from Christopher D. Greif, who was very helpful during the event. In addition, we participated in Rail Safety Week by maintaining a presence at grade crossings at Deer Park, Bethpage, Syosset, Farmingdale, and Stony Brook stations. Both LIRR staff and our MTA PD partners focused on educating the public about the importance of making safe choices around tracks and trains. Over the bridge strikes, we have a reduction in bridge strikes, as you could see, year over year. Another important component of safety is our infrastructure interacts with the way the communities behave around us. The LIRR currently operates 508 bridges and 29 viaducts across our network, most spanning roadways. When a vehicle strikes one of these bridges, it poses a safety risk both to the people in the vehicle and to our customers on the trains above. After a strike, depending on the location, we may need to suspend or slow service until a bridge inspector and track inspector can confirm the structure and track are safe. This can cause significant delays for our customers. As you could see, we've made meaningful progress in reducing the number of bridge strikes. The most effective mitigation is bridge replacement, raising the clearance of vehicle clearances so that they can pass safely underneath the bridge. These projects are expensive and time-consuming, but they're also highly effective. For example, at Cherry Valley Road, Nassau Boulevard, and Post Avenue, 3 high-impact locations, there were 48 bridge strikes in 2017 alone, causing 211 train delays. Since the final replacement was completed in the summer of 2023, there has not been a single bridge strike at these sites. In addition to replacements, we've deployed prevention strategies, including real-time sensors with cameras, signage directly on bridges, advanced warning signage, and beacon lights. And that concludes my safety update. Any questions?
In 2025, the 38 bridge strikes that you have, are they similar locations or are they scattered? I mean, where's the highest amount?
They typically across the network vary.
It's not one particular bridge, because you mentioned a few that since the repairs that dropped significantly.
Right, and those sites are Cherry Valley, Nassau Boulevard, and Post Avenue.
Okay.
Just currently, Continental Avenue in Forest Hills is a problematic bridge, and there's also a bridge by Plandome Station, Stony Town Road, is that what it's called? Forgive me, it's a bridge in Plandome. What's very impactful about that, when that bridge is struck, because of the bridge location, we actually have to shut service down, as Chris had mentioned, but we're employing means to reduce them. And one of the things that we try to impress upon municipalities is to monitor, the weight requirements on a bridge. One thing that we want them to make sure that they're enforcing the limits on weight of these trucks that go over the bridges, because it deteriorates the bridge, as you know from your construction background, that it does cause problems with the bridges. So we're asking the municipalities to enforce the weight limits over these bridges.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions? Okay, thank you. I appreciate your report. And now we'll move on to Metro North. Mike or Brian?
All right, good morning. Metro North safety record continues to be one of the strongest in the industry. Over my first 3 months as Vice President of System Safety, OSS has focused not just on maintaining our standard, but on driving numbers across the Harlem, the Hudson, New Haven, and west of Hudson territories. Our progress this year shows that we're doing exactly that. Customer injuries are down 7.8%, 1.54 per million riders over the last 12 months. It comes from a combination of modern techniques with proven fundamentals. We use forecasting and data to know when platforms need to be prepped for storms, while at the same time, we stay focused on the basics: lighting, consistent cleaning, and new campaigns to reduce gap-related injuries. For employees, the story is the same: progress. Lost time injuries are down 7.9%, almost 8%. The biggest driver is culture. Employees are reporting hazards earlier and more often through things like confidential close call reporting or C3RS, our safety hotlines, and our district safety committees that have been strengthened in partnership with labor. Together, these programs have already closed more than 200 safety concerns since January. Additionally, at Metro North, we don't believe safety is a one-size-fits-all. Using past data, we built department-specific safety action plans for each sub-department within our operating groups. These plans are targeted, data-driven, and it's working. Outreach is also evolving. Together with Metro North's operation training team, we built virtual reality into our TRACS program. We don't just wrap locomotives at Metro North anymore. We now wrap VR goggles. Kids want to put them on, but what stays with them is one lesson: see tracks, think trains. Additionally, we are expanding this program beyond schools, developing sessions for law enforcement, truck drivers, and others who share the right-of-way. The confidential close call reporting, or C3RS, is also expanding. Traditionally, peer review teams only review cases submitted through NASA, leaving out employees involved in known events where C3RS protections didn't always apply. Now, Metro North was the first railroad in the country to use that same labor management C3RS model to interview employees after operational incidents occur. This process is still confidential, non-disciplinary, and peer-to-peer, while also delivering corrective actions in training, communication, and procedures that strengthen our safety culture. And finally, technology. In partnership with Rutgers University, AI pilots are already proving scalable. Currently at Metro North, we are piloting the following AI projects. We are validating corrective actions, which is a major evolution in tracking safety assurance. We are monitoring select grade crossings, building AI-developed heat maps that pinpoint unsafe driver behavior, guiding both enforcement and outreach. We're able to verify roadway worker protection. We now even have the ability to review hard-to-hear or jumbled safety communications between RTCs and roadway workers to better learn and build better communication programs. So to recap, this year, both customer and employee injuries are down 8%. Together, working with labor, we built a culture of collaborative risk reduction, closing out hazards before they cause harm. Our outreach is reaching thousands in new, innovative ways, and technology like AI is already delivering results. That's progress, and we're not stopping there. Thank you, and now to share our progress in security, I'd like to hand it over to my teammate, Mr. Metz.
Thank you, Brian. Good morning. I'm Mike Metz, Chief Security Officer at Metro North Railroad. Thanks for this opportunity to present some valuable security information to this committee. At Metro North Security, we manage several critical security-related processes. I would like to highlight two important programs that we oversee: the Right-of-Way Task Force and the Video Management Program. The Right-of-Way Task Force is a collaboration with our primary partner, MTA PD. On a daily basis, the Right-of-Way Task Force identifies or is directed to areas of safety and security concern. Of course, there is a massive area to cover, from Poughkeepsie to New Haven to GCT and even to Port Jervis, and everywhere in between. This highly successful partnership has been active since 2016. Pictured are a few of the recent big wins spearheaded by the Right-of-Way Task Force. The top two pictures show a before and after of an encampment under a bridge in Bridgeport. This coordinated cleanup was accomplished with the support of the MTA PD, the Safety Department, CDOT, local community outreach programs, and contractors. The cleanup took 4 days. Over 1,000 needles were picked up, along with random garbage, even human waste, all properly disposed. The garbage alone filled 4 roll-off containers. The bottom left picture shows the fencing of a recently added at a chronic trespassing location, the rock cut at Spuyten Duyvil. This notorious location, where trespassers cross the tracks to hang out and sometimes jump into the Hudson River off of those giant rocks, has been a notorious location of trespassing over time. Anti-climb fencing and signage were installed to have successfully prevented any further trespassing since its installation. The bottom right picture shows another trespassing location that was quashed by the efforts of the Right-of-Way Task Force and MNR structures. 1,400 feet of anti-climb fencing was installed between Botanical Gardens and Williamsbridge stations, completely nullifying trespassers that plagued and slowed Metro-North trains for years. At Metro-North Security, we have an ever-increasing demand for video. Our growing video systems coverage now consists of over 16,000 cameras. This includes 100% coverage on board our passenger trains. We also continue to increase network coverage at our stations, yards, offices, and Grand Central. The recently upgraded Security Command Center serves as the hub for our video management enterprise. We provide critical video for both MTA PD for investigations and the MNR operation to assist with safety issues and to aid in the fight against fare evasion. In fact, the popularity of video across the agency has grown dramatically, doubling the number of requests in just 3 years. In an effort to continue to expand and improve our video coverage, we are heading the development and use of other valuable technologies. Rapidly deployable solar-powered cell cameras were developed and approved to utilize at emergency locations and in areas where power and networks are a challenge. These units can be installed quickly and will immediately merge into our expansive video network. Other cellular-based video units can be utilized when there is power but no network infrastructure. The MTA-approved tech is also being utilized at the grade crossing video project at 34 Metro-North grade crossing locations. And last, certainly not least, is our strive to utilize the emerging video analytics or AI technology with our video network. Currently, an AI project headed by MTA Headquarters Security, by Chief Kemper over there, is being conducted in Grand Central using Metro-North cameras. The study is utilizing advanced video analytics to identify specific behavioral characteristics that could be used to tip off law enforcement or Metro-North operations for any possible other issues. Also, as Mr. Pena just pointed out, we are collaborating with my alma mater at Rutgers University to develop new analytical tools that will utilize the video network to alarm and identify certain operational issues. This concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Yes, Blanca, please.
Thank you, Mr. Co-Chair. I'm very interested in that partnership that you have with Rutgers. How did it come about?
Well, you know, it certainly wasn't through my alma mater connections, but I'd like to claim that. That's not the reality. The reality is they have a very advanced video analytics laboratory there. Through contacts internally, through headquarters, we developed a partnership with them. They came to us, we came to them, and it worked out really well. And they are working on a multitude of different collaborations. As Brian pointed out, the audio one is really kind of interesting. You know, radio transmissions are often unclear and hard to hear. We want them to be crystal clear, and using AI technologies, I think there's going to be a great improvement in that world. And then, of course, on the video end, we're using it for a number of issues. So it's promising, and we look forward to continue our partnership with them.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, we're going to circle back to the Long Island Railroad and finish with Bob. I'm sorry, Ed, did you have a question for us?
Just a quick comment.
Please.
Just a quick comment on Brian Pena's mention of the close call reporting system. Just wanted to make a note that it's very popular, the new interviews that we've been doing on the property. It's expanding C3RS, and it's really done a lot to improve labor management relations, and I think that's why you're seeing the uptick in labor reporting things. So very pleased to see that, and I'm hoping they continue. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Bob?
Thank you and good morning. This presentation is to highlight Long Island Railroad's video analysis program, one of the tools utilized to keep Long Island Railroad safe. The Long Island Railroad spans over 700 miles of track with 126 stations and 56 yards. And we know that security incidents can occur anywhere, anytime, requiring security personnel to monitor multiple events concurrently daily. Human surveillance cannot alone cover this vast area. Tools are required that assist in expediting real-time alerts with actionable insights. The Long Island Railroad Office of Security utilizes a three-step process to manage their security efforts. The first one, alerting systems, comprised of alerts within monitored areas and cameras to assist in detecting unusual activity. Upon receiving an alert, video footage is immediately reviewed to identify meaningful data as well as any false positive alerts. Second is response determination and coordination, where an alert is classified as meaningful, actionable, allows for the coordination between MTA PD, local PD, and even operating departments to efficiently address any incident. Third and final is OSCAR, which is a tool used for tracking and analysis that logs alerts to be analyzed and accessed by the Long Island Railroad Security via a dashboard. The dashboard is utilized daily by security specialists to quickly assist in analyzing the vast amounts of data received, allowing the security specialist to identify the most efficient response for an identified incident. Video analysis assists in addressing the issues and concerns of our customers. By applying video analysis to monitor locations based upon the alerts, complaints, reported incidents, as well as other data received, such as the customer satisfaction surveys, we are able to assess events more efficiently. Additionally, video analysis is utilized to proactively monitor locations in real time that have had an incidents of trespass, theft, or other activity to assist MTA PD in addressing incidents that may occur on the Long Island Railroad. This centralized dashboard aggregates alerts and incidents across Long Island Railroad locations, allows for trend analysis, identifying hotspots and recurring issues. This helps to refine monitoring, reducing false positives and unnecessary calls for service. Resource allocation is guided through smarter development of security assets and requests for service, while continuous improvement provides feedback to strengthen alerts and response coordination. The following examples are supplied to illustrate the benefits of video analysis when handling events, as well as highlighting the ongoing cooperation and efforts of the MTA PD and the Long Island Railroad Office of Security. This incident occurred recently where the alerts were received due to after-hours movement at a Long Island Railroad storage yard. The Long Island Railroad Security Center personnel used alerts from sources such as gate sensors and geofencing of the areas within the yard and the video analysis of this data to find the trespassers and immediately notify MTA Police of the suspicious activity. The video shows two individuals trespassing in a restricted area. MTA PD personnel immediately apprehended and arrested 3 individuals for the trespassing and theft of property from the yard. Additionally, MTA PD identified that the vehicle used by the individuals as being involved in previous incidents as well. The second example illustrates an alert for criminal trespassing in another storage yard where an individual was identified in a restricted area. The alerts consist of multiple geofenced areas of the yard, alerting Long Island Railroad security personnel of the breach, which then they notified MTA Police of the trespasses. In this event, the prompt response by MTA Police thwarted this individual from what is believed to be an attempted theft of copper cables within the yard. The impact that this means to our customers is coordinated, consistent incident handling, intelligent deployment of security resources to enhance operational efficiency, more secure train stations and yards, and a safer Long Island Railroad. That concludes my presentation. Is there any questions?
Thank you, Bob. Any questions? Yes, Neil.
Thanks, Bob, for your report. I'm a layman, so it wouldn't be my place to suggest this should be included, but I'm surprised to hear we're not using drones of some sort to cover our vast terrain. Is that part of our arsenal of observation?
So last year, we presented the drone program for Long Island Railroad at around the same time. We have several pilots certified through the federal program and licensed. We have 4 drones that are deployed in emergencies, as well as to assess the yards throughout the year, to bring everything into one picture.
So it's integrated into everything you were just describing?
Yes, it is.
Okay, fine, because the way you described it, looked like it was one set of data, and the drone program is a separate, but you're saying it's a...
Yes, so the dashboard that we've put together, Oscar, we call it, is for a complete picture. It brings in alerts, it brings in the crimes, it brings in the imagery, or the data that we receive from the imagery of the drones as we go throughout the year, and the assessments. It's all inclusive. It allows us now to bring up one big picture when we're doing the work.
Any other questions? All right, gentlemen, thank you for a very informative safety and security update, and appreciate you taking the time to join us at this committee meeting today. And now to move things along, the Long Island Railroad information items and the Metro North information items are in the book, so I encourage members to take a look at that, as well as the finance reports. They're also in the book for both railroads. This month, we do not have any procurements for either railroad, so that being the close of business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Sammy, seconded by Blanca. All in favor? Aye. Thanks.